But it just makes me, it's like upsetting now because Stephen A. asked LeBron, can we please stop this? And now I agree with this ugly bald head joker, but I agree with him. Seeing Bronny, the difference in him in the G League and in the league, why would you want to see your son like that? You got to be a selfish son of a bitch, LeBron.
Kwame Brown just went all the way off on Bronny James, and LeBron caught heat too. He said Bronny looks loose, confident, even happy down in the G League. But once he steps onto an NBA court, it's like a whole different person shows up. Brown described it like Bronny wants to disappear under the bleachers during real NBA minutes. Then he took it further, calling LeBron selfish for pushing his son into that spotlight too early, just to line up a big legacy moment and maybe even documentary footage. Brown didn't sugarcoat anything. He said straight up that Bronny doesn't meet NBA standards right now and should be staying in the G League where he actually fits and can grow. And when a former NBA player puts LeBron on blast like that, saying he might be hurting his own son's confidence for personal goals, it hits different. It raises that uncomfortable question. Is Brown out of line, or is he saying what others are too careful to say?
Bronny been playing well in the G League. He looked like a G League all-star. He started to get his confidence. The man jumping around, looking up in the stands, beating his chest. That's how you want to see a player play.
He kicked things off by pointing out something a lot of people have quietly noticed already. In the G League, Bronny looks like himself, smiling, relaxed, shoulders up, playing freely. He moves like he belongs, like the court is his space. You can see the comfort, the rhythm, the confidence building with every play. But in the NBA, completely different energy.
Man, Bronny looked like he was turning a corner that I'd never seen him turn before. He looked like he was happy. He was smiling all the time. I never seen Bronny teeth in the NBA. I never seen Bronny teeth in the NBA. In the G League, Bronny is a totally different kid. So if it's about Bronny just playing basketball and being a professional, why can't he be a G League guy until he's more comfortable?
Brown said Bronny looks tense, stiff, almost frozen out there. Shoulders tight, head down, body language screaming pressure. It's like he's trying not to mess up instead of actually playing the game. That kind of contrast is hard to ignore. Then Brown dropped a harsh line. He said he's never even seen Bronny smile in an NBA game. That's tough to hear. But when you match it with what's happening on the court, it starts to make sense. In the G League, Bronny puts up solid numbers, makes smart plays, and looks like a young player developing the right way. In the NBA, though, he looks overwhelmed, like the speed and pressure are just too much right now.
So after the Kennard technical, Bronny pull up from 17, that's an air ball.
Got a little bit of everything done in those minutes.
Bronny had some trouble with turning the ball over at OKC last week, but again the other night he's scored 5. Ando passes it up into the corner. Bronny, that's going to be James. Forced. Bronny is wide open on its way.
Defenders are picking him apart, knocking the ball loose like it's practice. He struggles to handle pressure, struggles to bring the ball up cleanly, and turnovers pile up fast. At one point, big men on the team were handling the ball more smoothly, and that's not a good look for a guard. That's the kind of thing people notice immediately. Brown broke down his game in detail, and it wasn't pretty. He said Bronny is stuck between roles, too small for one, not skilled enough for another at this level. He called him an undersized shooting guard who can't consistently shoot, and a point guard who can't fully control the offense yet. Yes, Bronny is athletic. He can jump, move, and hustle. But defense and positioning still need work. Brown's big question was simple. What role does he actually fill right now in the NBA? And to be fair, that's not just criticism for the sake of it. That's based on what's happening on the court.
We got high school players better than Bronny. Absolutely got high school players better than Bronny. Bronny was never the best high school player on his team. He was never the best college player on his team. And he still gets 12 shots in a preseason game where everybody's auditioning, where nobody normally passes the ball. Everybody trying to get their shit off because it's new people out there. It ain't just you.
Then Brown hit a point that really stood out. If the goal is true development, why not let Bronny stay in the G League until he's fully ready? Why rush him into NBA games where he looks uncomfortable and out of place? He painted a rough picture. Bronny getting stripped multiple times, body language dropping, looking shaken. Brown said watching that is tough, especially if you actually care about the player, not just the moment, because real development takes time, confidence, and the right environment. But Brown made it clear, he doesn't think this situation is really about development. He believes there's a bigger motive behind it. According to him, LeBron wanted that historic moment, playing in the league with his son, making history, capturing it all. And because of that, Bronny got pushed forward faster than he probably should have been. Not because it was the best step for Bronny's growth, but because it completed a legacy story.
But it just makes me, it's like upsetting now because Stephen A. asked LeBron, can we please stop this? And now I agree with this ugly bald head joker, but I agree with him. Seeing Bronny, the difference in him in the G League and in the league, why would you want to see your son like that? You got to be a selfish son of a bitch, LeBron. Why in the hell you want to see this boy look like that with his shoulders damn near, his head tucked between his shoulders? It look like he ready to just run and hide up under the bleachers.
That's where Brown used the word nobody else wants to say, selfish. He argued that a father fully focused on his son's future would have slowed things down, kept him in college longer, or let him build confidence in the G League first. Instead, the timeline got sped up. LeBron got the moment, and Bronny is the one dealing with the pressure that comes with it. That's the trade-off Brown is calling out loud and clear. He even brought up LeBron's long career schedule as part of the bigger picture. Deep playoff runs, finals appearances, international play. It's been nonstop at the highest level for years. And now, right at the end of that run, everything lined up for this father-son moment. But the real question still hangs in the air. Is the timing right for Bronny, or just perfect for the story? LeBron has played 23 seasons and racked up more minutes than anyone in NBA history. But that raises a real question. When did he actually have time to fully train Bronny? When was he working closely on ball handling, defense, and the small details that clearly still need work? Those aren't things you just pick up overnight. Kwame Brown didn't hold back on that point either. He said LeBron was so locked in on maintaining his own greatness that he didn't have the time to personally build Bronny's game. And honestly, that tracks.
The man is confident as a G League player. We get it. You want legacy. He need his own legacy. You got this man looking like this just for you to be like King Griffey and the people say you the first. Well, whoop-de-doo. You look great, but your son looked trash. And he didn't look trash in the G League. Why don't you let him be what his level is?
Playing at an elite level at 41 takes non-stop focus, strict routines, and serious discipline. That kind of grind doesn't leave much room for hands-on development with someone else, even your own son. Sure, Bronny had access to top trainers and elite facilities, but Brown made it clear that's not the same as direct guidance from a father who understands every level of the game. And now, the gaps are showing. Bronny struggles to handle pressure, his shot isn't consistent, and quick guards give him problems on defense. Those are core fundamentals that usually get locked in years earlier. Instead, what people saw for years were clips online. Bronny hitting deep shots, working out in controlled settings, no defenders, no real pressure. That looks impressive on the surface, but it doesn't match the reality of NBA speed and intensity. Brown basically called that out as highlight content, not true preparation, and now the difference is obvious. He also pointed out something else. LeBron had every resource imaginable to help Bronny develop the right way. Huge private spaces, access to pro-level gyms, NBA facilities at any time. Everything was there. But according to Brown, those tools weren't fully used to fix weaknesses. They were used to build moments and visibility instead. That's where he said the priorities got flipped. Development came second, while image and timing came first. And that's a tough claim, but it connects to everything we're seeing now on the court. Then Brown made a comparison that really stuck. He compared LeBron to Homelander and Bronny to Homeland Jr. In his view, LeBron is the powerful figure shaping the narrative, while Bronny is being pushed into a spotlight he's not fully ready for yet. It's not framed as patience and growth. It's framed as fulfilling a bigger vision. Brown believes that vision is all about legacy. LeBron playing alongside his son, making history, locking in that moment forever. But again, the question comes back. Is that moment happening at the right time for Bronny, or just the perfect time for the story? He didn't stop there either. He turned his attention to the media. Brown said a lot of outlets are handling Bronny with extreme care, in a way they never did with other young players who struggled early. Normally, rookies get picked apart for poor performances. But here, the tone shifts to protection. But Bronny is 21, playing professionally, earning serious money. Brown's point was simple. If you're in the league, you get evaluated like everyone else. No special rules, no soft coverage. But he believes that's not happening because criticism of Bronny quickly turns into criticism of LeBron. And that comes with consequences in the media world. Access, relationships, influence, all of that plays a role. So instead of honest breakdowns, people stay quiet or soften the message. Brown called that out directly and labeled it as hypocrisy, and it's hard to ignore once you see the pattern. At the core of it all, Brown keeps coming back to one idea. Bronny needs real minutes, real reps, and real space to grow. The G League gives him that. Playing heavy minutes, making mistakes, learning through experience without massive pressure. That's how players actually improve. He even suggested a different route, sending Bronny to a rebuilding team like the Washington Wizards. A team that isn't focused on winning right now could give him consistent playing time and let him develop at his own pace. That kind of environment might come with struggles, but at least those struggles would lead somewhere. Because on a team chasing wins like the Lakers, those opportunities just don't exist. And without those reps, growth gets delayed. That's the situation Brown is putting a spotlight on. So what's Bronny really doing right now? Sitting on the bench, getting a few late game minutes, or bouncing back to the G League? That's not a real development plan. That feels more like holding a spot than building a player. Kwame Brown didn't miss that detail either, and he made it clear. This setup looks more like positioning for a moment than preparing for a career. He also brought up Phil Jackson, and that comparison hits hard. Brown said a coach like Jackson wouldn't pull a struggling player right away. He'd leave him out there and say, "I'm not saving you. Figure it out." That's how players build toughness, confidence, and real composure under pressure. You go through the struggle, not around it. But with Bronny, it's the opposite. The second things start going wrong, he's pulled out. And yeah, maybe that protects him from looking bad in the moment, but it also blocks him from learning how to fight through adversity. That's a key part of growth, and without it, progress slows down fast. The whole situation feels flipped. If development was truly the focus, Bronny would be getting more consistent minutes, more chances to mess up and improve, more coaching through tough stretches. But that's not happening. And there's a reason for that. The Lakers are trying to win games now. They don't have the space to let a young player learn through mistakes in real time. And if Bronny starts playing heavy minutes, it could hurt their chances in the standings. So now he's stuck in this awkward middle ground, not fully playing, not fully developing, just existing on the roster without a clear role. And all of it traces back to one decision, bringing him into the league early. If Bronny had stayed in college longer or spent a couple full seasons in the G League, he might have built himself into a solid NBA-ready player. The tools could have developed properly, step by step. But time wasn't on LeBron's side. At 41, nearing the end of his career, waiting 2 or 3 more years wasn't part of the plan. So the timeline got sped up, and Bronny entered the league whether he was fully ready or not. That's the core of Brown's argument. He called it selfish, plain and simple, saying LeBron put his own timeline and legacy goals ahead of what would have been best for Bronny's long-term growth. And now, Bronny is the one dealing with the pressure, the criticism, and the struggles on the court. What makes it tougher is that we've already seen where Bronny looks comfortable. In the G League, he's active, confident, smiling, producing. That's his level right now. That's where he should be sharpening his game until he's truly ready for the next step. Instead, he's bouncing back and forth, never settled, never fully locked into one path, never getting the steady development reps he needs. That kind of instability can slow down any young player trying to find their rhythm. Brown's overall take is blunt, but it lines up with what's being shown. Right now, Bronny isn't performing at a strong NBA level, and that gap is hard to ignore. The bigger issue is how he got there so fast. According to Brown, the reason is simple. LeBron wanted that historic father-son moment before stepping away from the game, and that urgency pushed everything forward quicker than it should have gone. A lot of people avoid saying that out loud because of the attention and backlash that comes with criticizing someone like LeBron. But Brown doesn't hold back. He's been through the highs and lows himself, and he recognizes what it looks like when a player is thrown into a situation too early. Now the big question is, what happens next? Does Bronny stay stuck between the bench and the G League? Does he land somewhere that gives him real minutes and space to grow? Or does his path shift completely once LeBron steps away from the game? No one has that answer yet, but what's clear is this: his NBA start has been rough, and the timing of his arrival plays a huge role in that. Brown's message is loud. Bronny looks out of place right now, not because he lacks potential, but because he wasn't fully ready for this level just yet. And here's where things get even more intense, because now the conversation isn't just about Bronny's game, it's about what this situation could turn into long term. When a player starts their career under this kind of pressure, it doesn't just affect performance, it can mess with confidence in a serious way. Kwame Brown hinted at that too. It's one thing to struggle quietly while developing, but it's completely different when every mistake is happening on the biggest stage, with cameras locked in and critics ready to react instantly. That kind of spotlight can speed things up or break things down fast. Think about it. Every turnover, every missed shot, every defensive slip is being analyzed in real time, not just by fans, but by media, former players, and the entire basketball world. That's a heavy load for any young player, especially one still trying to figure out his role. And the pressure doesn't stop on the court either. Off the court, the expectations are even louder. The name, the legacy, the comparisons, it all follows him everywhere. There's no break from it. No quiet space to just grow naturally. That's a tough environment to develop in. What makes it more complicated is that Bronny isn't just another rookie. He's tied directly to one of the biggest names the sport has ever seen. So every struggle becomes a headline, every small success gets magnified, and every move gets judged twice as hard. That's why Brown's bigger message keeps hitting. This isn't just about skill level, it's about timing and environment. Throwing someone into the deep end before they're fully ready can slow their growth instead of speeding it up. And history backs that up. Plenty of players with potential have struggled early because they were rushed into roles they weren't prepared for. Some recover and adjust, but others never fully find their footing again. That's the risk here, because talent alone isn't enough at the NBA level. You need confidence, rhythm, and experience built the right way. And right now, Bronny is trying to build all of that while already under pressure to perform. Another thing people are starting to notice, his role still isn't clearly defined. One game he's expected to handle the ball, another game he's off the ball, then he's barely playing at all. That kind of inconsistency makes it even harder to settle in and improve. Players need structure. They need to know what's expected of them every night. Without that, development turns into guesswork, and that slows everything down. And let's be real, the Lakers aren't in a position to experiment. They're chasing wins, playoff positioning, results right now. That doesn't leave room for long-term projects to grow through mistakes. So again, Bronny ends up caught in the middle. Not enough minutes to adjust at the NBA level, but also not staying long enough in one place to fully dominate and build confidence either. That's why this situation keeps getting more attention, because it feels unresolved, unfinished, and honestly a bit rushed. Kwame Brown's overall message keeps circling back to one thing. This could have been handled differently. Slower timeline, clearer development path, less pressure early on. Let the player grow first, then step into the spotlight when he's fully ready. Instead, it's happening in reverse. Spotlight first, development second. And that's why every performance feels like it carries extra weight. Now the focus shifts to adjustment. Can Bronny tune out the noise and find his rhythm? Can the team figure out a better way to use him? Or will this pattern keep repeating? Because one thing is clear, this situation isn't stable yet. And until it is, the conversation around Bronny, LeBron, and this entire move isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And at the end of the day, everything comes back to one simple truth. Timing is everything. Right now, Bronny's not being judged for what he could become. He's being judged for what he is today. And today, he's still a player trying to figure things out at the highest level under the brightest lights. Kwame Brown said what a lot of people were thinking but didn't want to say out loud. Not because it's easy, but because it's real. This situation feels rushed, complicated, and honestly unfair to a young player still building his game step by step. That doesn't mean Bronny can't improve. He absolutely can. Players grow, adjust, and surprise people all the time. But the path matters. The environment matters. And right now, everything around him feels fast, loud, and unstable. So now it's a waiting game. Does he get the time and space to develop properly? Does his role finally become clear? Or does this pressure keep stacking up game after game? One thing is clear, the spotlight isn't going anywhere. Every move will keep getting watched, every performance will keep getting talked about, and this whole situation will keep people debating for a long time. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Bronny was pushed too early, or is this just part of the process for young players trying to break through? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let it be known. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who's been following the story. And don't forget, more content is on the way, so stay locked in. See you on the next one.